What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Brett Favre has been very interesting as of late. The last year or so, there are some egregious claims against the former quarterback of some form of either fraud toward the state of Mississippi or misusing funds from the welfare program to divert it to Southern Miss University, where he played football at in college, in building something from the volleyball team or building something else for sports agencies, doing some things there, right? And of course, Mississippi, with in Jackson being its biggest city, having a lot of blacks there, but not only that, the state of Mississippi being a big part of African American descent, people have clapped back at Mr. Brett Favre, saying that he needs to go to jail. And it's not just Dr. Umar Johnson; it's also people like Pat McAfee and others. And instead of Brett Favre owning accountability for the mistakes that he has made, because the state says he's done this, it's not, they have a case on him. He hasn't went to jail or anything, but they said, like, look, you took this money unlawfully, you need to pay it. Here's what Brett Favre is doing to respond to that. And here's what happened with how Shannon Sharpe criticized Brett Favre and what happened to Shannon Sharpe. Let's play that clip.
Well, Keegan and Megan, the NFL Hall of Famer has filed 3 separate lawsuits. The suit against Auditor Shad White was filed in Hinds County, and the lawsuits against former NFL players Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee were filed in Lamar County.
In the suit against Shad White, Brett Favre said the auditor carried out an outrageous media campaign of malicious and false accusations. He accused White of trying to leverage media attention generated by Favre's celebrity to further his own political career. White has accused Favre of requesting welfare money from the Mississippi Department of Human Resources to build an indoor practice facility for the University of Southern Mississippi's football team, and for seeking welfare dollars to build a volleyball arena at Southern Miss. This is all in connection to the state's largest welfare scandal.
We're going to continue to provide resources to the FBI. We've given them every piece of evidence that we have. Prosecutors are going to, of course, have to make decisions about whether or not they'll indict anybody else beyond the individuals who have been indicted.
Favre hasn't been charged with a crime in the case, but the Mississippi Department of Human Services has sued Favre and others to recover misspent welfare money. Favre's suit says White has made egregiously false and defamatory statements, accusing the former quarterback of stealing taxpayer funds and knowingly misusing funds designed to serve poor folks. In the suits against Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee, he's accused both former NFL players of defamation and slander on their respective TV shows, podcasts, and social media posts. Favre claimed there is no basis for these offensive falsehoods.
Now, the state auditor's office released a statement earlier this evening in response to those 3 lawsuits. It says, in part, everything Auditor White has said about the case against Mr. Favre is true and backed by years of audit work by this office. It also says instead of paying New York litigators to try this case, Favre would be better off fully repaying the amount of welfare funds that he owes the state of Mississippi.
So guys, you heard what's going on there. So now, here's what I honestly feel about that situation. Mr. Brett Favre is going to be criticized by a lot of people for his allegations. Again, the auditor says it is true. It sounds to be like very relevant from what they say. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know how to interpret those documents. But the state has put this out. That's how we know about it, right? But the strategy for Mr. Favre is this. Okay, so these people are going to keep talking about me. So how we're going to deal with it is this. What we're going to do is we're going to sue the people with the biggest names, especially those in the NFL. And which is interesting because Sterling Sharpe, which is Shannon Sharpe's brother, was the wide receiver for Brett Favre in his early days in the Packers. In fact, it was Brett Favre throwing those crazy passes across the middle that got Sterling Sharpe hurt. So Brett Favre is like, all right, here's the way we're going to shut these people up. So we don't expect everybody to shut up, but we want to make it a scare tactic such that those people who play with me gonna get this work. Okay, they're gonna get this work. So let me kind of discuss that in hindsight. The reality is this, Mr. Favre. If you don't want people talking about you, here's one of the things that you can do. Not be involved on the state of Mississippi's radar. Okay? Had it not been for that, we would not know. We did not know. We would not know. We would not have known. So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, well, these guys, we want to make sure that the other guys are fearful to talk. And the reality is you can't sue everybody. You can't defame everybody. You can't. It don't work with everybody. It'll work with certain people. It don't work with everybody. And this is a story that they broke, the state of Mississippi broke. And it seems like you're suing everybody, even one of the people that works there, but actually the state. And the situation is, bruh, how did we get here? Did we get here because of what you did? And again, I don't know what's going on. But again, they're the ones that put it out. And so I want to say that people would be better off. And I agree with what the guy said in the clip. Instead of going around trying to get these lawsuits off, why don't you pay the people back what you owe them? And maybe, I don't know, he's figuring, well, because I'm trying to, take this money to the University of Southern Mississippi and build this stuff. Y'all don't have an alumni association? I mean, Brett Favre can't get donors? Brett Favre, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever of all time, one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch, can't get people together to say, look, the school needs this. All right, this is what we need. I don't want to hear any BS from y'all. All the alumni, the state, let's pledge $20 million right now to get this stuff going. That's what he can do. Everybody in Mississippi loves Brett Favre. He even lives there now. He can live anywhere else. He's back home. Raise the money. And white folk, I'm just gonna be real, and they down for that. White people will give money, y'all. Blacks will too, here and there, but they'll give money. Hey, Brett Favre said this. Boy, we better get out here. Yeah, get the money. Get the money. You go in there. Boom, we're good. Now we don't have to do nothing at all to get to where we need to be. But now when we start doing this stuff, Mr. Favre, it looks tacky, bro. I'm just gonna be real. It looks like you got something to hide. Not saying that you did anything. I don't know. I don't want you suing me. I ain't got no money. But it looks like you be better off spending your opportunities paying these folk back. Run them their money and stop worrying about what folk gonna say. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.